This guy is really cute.
He does have fleas.
I'm in the ocean. I'm not too afraid of fleas.
We are Cory and Wallace, an early retired couple on a full-time journey around the world. With a passion for exploring new cultures, discovering hidden gems, and enjoying delicious local food, we are on a mission to experience as much of the world as we can.
Welcome back. We're currently in Sihanoukville, Cambodia.
And today we are going to travel to the island of Koh Rong. So come along with us as we go and catch our ferry.
We have been in Sihanoukville for a couple days now. It's definitely not our town. We went to go grocery shopping. We had to go to 3 different places to get groceries because all the grocery marts were more or less convenience stores until we finally asked our host where to buy stuff. And even then, the fresh produce and fresh selection was very limited. So that being said, it feels like a ghost town. And there's a very good reason for that, and I will let him tell you why.
We just showed a little clip on the drive here to the ferry port, and you saw some of the abandoned buildings. There are about 400 such ghost buildings here in Sihanoukville. Approximately 400 buildings in various stages of completion that have just been abandoned. Most of those buildings are Chinese owned, and in fact a lot of them you can see Chinese lettering on the facades. But what happened is, you know, I guess there's a large Chinese population here, and they were basically trying to build up the infrastructure. But between COVID and then also an online gambling ban that was enacted in 2019, that basically shuttered a bunch of the casinos, and a lot of the Chinese nationals left, and a lot of people lost their jobs because of that gambling ban. And so the money dried up, COVID happened, and those projects just got abandoned and never picked up again. So it's kind of sad. It's a lot of buildings in a town of this size, or a city of this size, I should say. And it definitely isn't the nicest place we've been so far.
So you may be asking why we stayed here. We kind of knew that in advance, whereas most people just move on and go to Koh Rong. So the reason that we didn't is because islands are inherently really hard for gluten-free in a poorer country, and I knew that. We did find one hotel or 1 or 2 places that could handle gluten-free. They were far away from any like the regular cheaper areas. So we've chosen to stay in Sihanoukville for 7 days and then use that as a jumping off point to go to Koh Rong. So we're just going to go to Koh Rong for 1 night because it's a fairly hefty price tag to stay for 1 night. It's going to be a more upscale hotel. We did book at a cheaper hotel, but after diving into the reviews, we just decided that we just couldn't do it. And I knew by more research where we were going to stay originally, gluten-free was going to be literally impossible. So we decided to treat ourselves to 1 night at a fancy hotel.
Yeah, so we are going to be staying at the Secret Garden resort over on Koh Rong, and it is going to be pretty nice. Beachfront, it's going to be beautiful, but like Cory said, it's definitely pricier than we would normally spend, hence we're limiting it to just the 1 night. So anyways, we are going to go look for our ferry, and that should be departing in about 20 or 30 minutes. We've arrived here at the Sihanoukville Autonomous Port, which is where all the ferries come from, or depart from, I mean. There's a 7-Eleven here, and all along there are the various ticket agencies for the ferry companies. There's a cafe over there, and more ferry company ticket offices. Koh Rong is the 2nd largest island in Cambodia, and it's about 25 kilometers or 16 miles from Sihanoukville. There's also Koh Rong San Lom, which is a smaller island just to the south of Koh Rong Island. So when you get your tickets, make sure you know where you're going, and also those ferries stop at multiple piers on both islands, so make sure you get off at the right stop and you're paying attention. Round trip tickets will cost 25 US and they're open-ended for the return. But I would suggest if it's peak season and it's really busy, you might want to pre-buy your tickets, whether here at the ticket offices or online, just to make sure you get the boat you want.
All right, we are here at the ferry terminal. As usual with these things, we don't know what's going on. We are assuming that they're going to announce what boat we're going to get on at the time of boarding.
There's a bunch of people sitting here and it's supposed to be a 12 o'clock boat, so we're assuming this is the right area. We'll find out soon enough.
So a lot of times when you're in Asia, you just got to roll with the punches and find out what's going to happen. But to date, we haven't missed a ferry or a bus yet. There's always a way to figure it out. Waiting at the ferry terminal actually makes me really happy that we're staying in Sihanoukville and just going over to the island for a night. That way we don't have to lug all our bags and everything, which can be quite a challenge, especially when you're on a ferry. Having 2 bags to try to manage to get onto the ferry can be very difficult. When we were backpacking through Thailand, even just having 1 backpack was sometimes challenging on a ferry. Yay! We're in air conditioning, so
Thank goodness.
that's a huge plus.
Yeah,
we were not expecting that.
No, I thought we were going to be on that little boat, but we're on the big one with AC. Very grateful right now because it's really hot out today.
So I don't know if anybody's ever traveled on Asian or ferries in Southeast Asia before, but this is very typical where you drop off all your bags and they just like pile them. Which is great until you get off. Then you have to wait for them to unload it, or you have to sift through to find your bag, which is sometimes difficult. But it's a nice day, so we shouldn't have too much waves, and it should be a fairly good ride. Got a good day to travel. It's not rough at all, so yay. One of my favorite parts about being in Southeast Asia is that they're so relaxed about animals. Animals can be in restaurants, they can be in many, many places that they would not be in other places, or such as in Canada. For example, on the ferry, it was no big deal. The people behind us have brought their cat along to hang out with them.
And I saw another lady with a small fluffy white dog on a leash.
And nobody blinks an eye, nobody questions it. It's totally, completely normal. So in true Southeast Asian style, the boat has stalled and we're thinking the engine overheated because you can smell it.
Yeah, we can definitely smell like a burning smell. Nothing on fire as far as we know, but this is pretty typical. It's what you'd expect.
So, tips. If you're driving by car, bus, or by ferry, do not plan anything time sensitive on the other end.
Yeah, like don't be trying to catch a flight right after or anything like that, because if anything goes sideways, which it usually does, you're going to be in trouble.
This is another reason that we stayed in Sihanoukville and didn't go straight to Koh Rong and like go from Koh Rong and try to leave.
To the airport, yeah.
Because these things happen. You just have to roll with them, but we want to minimize the stress on either end as much as possible.
And also, we're not on vacation, so we have all the time in the world to be able to do that, which helps. Okay, we might be here a little while because we're standing up and taking a look around, and the employees opened up a hatch in the floor to go down below decks. And as soon as they did that, a waft of smoke came up. So something's definitely overheated. And now I just seen one of the maintenance guys walk by holding a wrench and a couple of drive belts. So not sure what's going on, but they're obviously trying to fix something. Something's definitely gone a little sideways. And we're just here bobbing in the middle of the Gulf of Thailand.
And trying to stave off seasickness. I'm staring at the island right now, trying to just like not get seasick because we're bobbing pretty good.
Yeah, it's not too bad right now, but luckily it's a pretty nice day. So the weather's good and the seas are calm, and this isn't anywhere near as bad as it could be. Yeah, one of the crew just walked by holding the shredded, burnt up remains of a drive belt, so that was definitely the problem. Hopefully we'll be underway soon. So far on this trip, we've had a breakdown on a bus and a breakdown on a boat. The only thing I'm going to pray is that we don't have a breakdown on a plane on our way from Sihanoukville to Siem Reap.
Yeah,
so,
fingers crossed, because we are flying Air Cambodia for the first time.
We'll see.
But we forgot to mention, we are technically in the Gulf of Thailand at the moment, going over to Koh Rong. We forgot how close this was to Thailand in general.
Yeah, honestly, I forgot that we were on the Gulf of Thailand. So these, ocean views we've had from our Airbnb in Sihanoukville, we've been looking at the Gulf of Thailand. And in fact, right now, if we're looking at the direction that Koh Rong is from us, if I plot it out on a map and I was, straight beyond that is basically Hua Hin, where we stayed for 30 days recently. So, we are in Hua Hin, looking across the out, from the beach. Basically, it would have been looking in this direction, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to like be so close to the place that you were prior and didn't realize it. 30 minutes later, I think we're on our way.
At least 30 minutes, yeah. We're moving again, hopefully in the right direction and not turning around and going back to the ferry terminal. We'll see, I guess.
Right now it's just puttering, so I'm really, really hopeful that we keep moving because there's a rainstorm coming in and hopefully it doesn't get to bad weather and we make it to the island before that really sets in.
We'll see. Stay tuned. We made it.
Yay.
A little bit delayed.
I'll take it. We made it and we're not too delayed.
About an hour delayed.
Could have been worse. We could have been stuck out there for a few hours the way they were going. So getting off the ferry was a little sketchy. It was just like a little plane. And then everybody is literally just standing here on the pier because everybody wants to get their bag.
But it's a very narrow pier and a lot of people and nowhere near enough room.
And nobody's moving, so this is fun. To add to the confusion, people are trying to get on as we get off. I guess they only have like a 10-minute turnaround, so that also is impacting things.
Well, our driver was waiting right there for us, so that was easy at least. I am glad we prepaid and prearranged the taxi pickup with our resort, because otherwise, between the delay on the boat and then the chaos here at the pier, this would have been really, really chaotic.
And this is our ride. Actually, you say.
And this is our ride.
We only just like stopped at the pier in time to get off and walk off the pier, but I get it now. This island is gorgeous.
Looks to be a mangrove swamp behind me, which is very pretty.
there's an open air gym. Who knew?
The sand here is like super fine and white and just beautiful. Bicycle travel for you, please. Yeah. Welcome to. We've made it to the secret garden Koh Rong. It is absolutely beautiful here. Got a nice cold towel and a welcome cocktail, a cranberry mocktail as a welcome drink. Well, that's refreshing.
First impressions, this hotel is very relaxed. They don't even make us go to the check-in desk. They came and got our passport and just allowed us to sit here, have a drink while they check us in, which is really, really nice. But this place is stunning. It is so pretty.
This place is amazing. It is beautiful, white sand, blue sky, turquoise water. There's palm trees there. Wow. Now, this place was not cheap. We ended up booking a place that was a little more expensive. I think we're paying 181 Canadian for one night, which is also why we're only staying the one day, because this is outside of our normal budget. But yeah, this is gorgeous, and I'm very, very happy that we came. Welcome to our beachfront room here at Secret Garden Koh Rong. As you can see, so beautiful beach right in front, sand literally feet from our doorstep. We do have a storm rolling in, so we're gonna hurry through this so we can go jump in the water before that storm rolls in. It is nicely air conditioned, very echoey in here because it's all concrete. Looks like a queen size bed. I think that passes as a king size here. It's all concrete, so it's fairly basic, but it's definitely nice. We've got a mini bar that's fully stocked, but is not free. There is water, tea, and coffee that is complimentary. And really, that's about it. It's pretty bare bones. So, little sitting area where our bags currently are.
It's not a lot of lighting.
And this is the bathroom door. It's pretty dark in here, but if you come on through, we got bathrobes, we got a beach tote bag to use, an umbrella when it rains, because it's gonna rain. We've got a safe. Oh, some beach towels. Yeah, beach towels. Toiletries, sink. It's not too bad. Functional toilet. It's a very big area. That light's really bright. Wow, that looks really, really, really cool on the camera. And you'll notice there's no shower in here because that's through this door. There's ants, so you have to watch your step, but
Nice.
That's pretty much it.
This place is gorgeous. Waking up to that view is going to be amazing. A few things to note. Outdoor bathrooms, we've learned in the past that they look good, they look amazing. In practicality, they're not very good, especially if you have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night or if it's raining.
The toilet here, at least, is indoors.
Yeah.
The shower's outdoors here, which at least that's an improvement over the last place we had with an outdoor bathroom. However, if you wanted, for example, to go shower after dark, with that light on, you're going to be attracting mosquitoes and stuff. Or if it's middle of the day, you might even get sunburned in places that you don't want to sunburn.
Yeah. And the concrete, in cooler countries, that would not be ideal because
concrete cold. That is not the case here. It's so warm that it's just a warm floor. So that's also a bonus.
All right. Anyways, that's it for now. We're going to go jump in that ocean. It is time to get in the water. The sand is amazing. It's super hot. The water looks really inviting. But there is a storm coming in, as you can see. We'll see how long we last before that rolls in. Yes, it is. I'm going to turn this around and show you guys what we're seeing. There is our beachfront room. And look at this beach, you guys. We've got palapas to use. This is absolutely incredible. The water is so warm. It's so clear. Wow. Just wow. So this water is, I think it's particularly salty. It's very buoyant because it's taking no effort for me to float.
Honestly, if you were to tell me that we would have beachfront hotel on a beautiful island this year, I wouldn't have believed it, because those are usually extremely costly. We made this work, and I'm so glad we did.
I should also mention, so this is Secret Garden Koh Rong, and it is on Pagoda Beach. And behind us there, you guys can't see it on the GoPro, is Pagoda Pier. There is a ferry that goes from Sihanoukville directly to Pagoda Pier, but it was a lot more costly, so we just booked our own ferry over to Longset Pier and arranged for the taxi ride here, which ended up saving a few bucks.
And it gave us more time here, because that ferry had a weird schedule.
Yeah, the getting here would have been fine, but the return ferry was at 10 a.m. tomorrow, whereas we don't have to check out till noon, so we're going to catch the 1 o'clock ferry from Longset Pier, which is only about 10 minutes away, so we get more time here tomorrow. I don't get to be in a shot. It's up to you.
It is so calm. I've never been in an ocean this calm before. Usually it's waves. Even just like at Wahin, where it wasn't that many waves, but it definitely still had waves, whereas this is just like a lake, except it's salty. And you can float. Wallace doesn't usually float that well. That's why we know it's like super salty, whereas I can float in anything.
Sihanoukville, definitely not our cup of tea, but this beach is amongst the prettiest I've ever seen, and yeah, very glad we came. Most tourists basically only go through Sihanoukville to come here, and I totally get why now.
If it wasn't for me being gluten-free or a celiac, we would have done the exact same. If food was not an issue and not so expensive on an island, it wouldn't have even been a question.
And expensive isn't even the main thing. It's just that there are very few gluten-free options for Cory, and so we can't exactly stay here long term. And that's just the way it is. Oh well. We are gonna enjoy the time we have here, though.
You know this is a good place to be when Wallace says, I don't want to go in for food, I want to stay out here. Unfortunately, the rain is starting to set in. We're not sure if It doesn't look like a thunderstorm, but it's a bad idea to be in the ocean. Really
Actually, yeah, it's pretty dark over there, so it might be.
So I think we're gonna have to call it quits and just go and hang out in our room. Can you hear that squeaking? We've had a shower and now we're just gonna go get a drink and something to eat at the bar and probably just play a game of cards and chill out. And this is the pool. I found a drink. Apparently it's a mocktail, pink poppy, a creamy concoction of vanilla, condensed milk, strawberry jam, and lime. That's interesting.
That sounds horrid.
We knew that gluten-free was going to be challenging, and this was one of the restaurants that was actually had high reviews on gluten-free.
One of the only.
Yeah, and for good reason. They have a very comprehensive gluten-free menu. It's two pages. And when I asked, they have some deep fried stuff. And when I asked, they have separate fryer with fresh oil for gluten-free.
So no chance of cross-contamination with the deep fried items, which is phenomenal.
So it's nice to see that even out here, there is a level of understanding. I think it depends on who runs the hotel. I'm not sure how this hotel is owned, if it's Western owned or if it's local owned. So.
And prices for the restaurant and the drink, like food and drinks, a little bit higher than over in Sihanoukville, which is to be expected. We're on a little tropical island, but not outrageously priced. Very, very pleasantly surprised by that.
Yeah. The view while we eat is just magical. We got onion rings, which I haven't had since I've left Canada. And what are these?
And Khmer style spring rolls.
So, apparently these are rice paper. I'm really having a hard time believing that. I think they're cassava.
We had him double check and he assured us it was gluten-free. But yeah, it could be a cassava wrapper, like what we
because it
had
tastes like the
at
cassava wild. That dipping sauce is like sour but sweet and tangy. And this is just like a bunch of vegetables in here. It's really, really good.
And these are the onion rings, which are in a rice flour batter with like a chipotle mayo dip. They're a little soggy looking, but there's still a bit of crisp. Yeah, it's not bad.
Not bad. Gluten-free on an island. I'm happy. We got some food. The storm blew over. We're gonna get back in the water and just enjoy. So we'll see you probably at dinner. We just spent the last like 2.5 hours in the ocean. It's really salty, so you get to like float, and it is lovely. And now it's sunset. If this place isn't already magical, it is now. I made a friend. We are here for dinner. It's now well past sunset, and it's still gorgeous. It's a very relaxed vibe here. With regards to like the bill and stuff, you only have to sign once a day. You run a tab for the day, and then you just sign. Haven't paid it yet, so we'll see how that works. I'm pretty sure they just add it onto the room, and then we just pay it at the end of the stay.
Yeah, we basically swam in the ocean until sunset, and then, oh yeah, we also found stray dogs to pet, which you'll have seen by now in the video. And now, just waiting for drinks and dinner, which, yeah, I love the vibe here. It's just so relaxed and laid back. It's awesome.
This is what I imagine it'd be like to go to like Bora Bora or like the Polynesian Islands or something. Just super relaxed.
But nowhere near as expensive.
The dogs know where to stay. They've been around since dinner started. They know how to get food. So I went with triple fried fries. They come with ketchup, and I can't figure out what the sauce is. But it's like a garlic aioli. It's really good. And the ketchup, as far as being in Southeast Asia, a lot of times you just get tomato sauce. So this is as close to ketchup as we recognize it in a while.
Those fries are good.
Mm-hmm. What'd you get?
To be clear, that's not all Cory ordered. Her main dish isn't here yet. My starter is Korean-style chicken wings and a fish hammock, which is fish cooked in coconut milk and herbs and spices served with rice. And it is one of the national dishes of Cambodia. So, let's try one of these chicken wings. Ooh, sticky. Yeah, it's just a sweet soy dressing on the wings. It's tasty.
I got fish of the day, so it's red snapper in a lemongrass ginger broth, and I had a choice of between steamed and deep fried. I chose steamed.
Yeah, it looks like it's served with a bowl of the broth, coleslaw, and some rice, and it looks incredible.
And it's a whole fish, so this is actually going to be a challenge to get into, but ooh, that is amazing. It's like spicy, it's got coriander in there for sure. I can taste the lemongrass, and it is, wow, that's amazing.
I'm going to try my fish hammock.
And this is the fish. They steamed it to perfection.
And the sauce for the fish hammock is just beautiful. It's creamy, coconutty. There's just a hint of spice, like turmeric, and honestly, I couldn't even tell you what else. Get a little bite with some rice here. Oh, that's delicious. That is so tasty. And the garnish on the plate is a flour, but it's red chili. Dinner was incredible. Yeah, we love this resort. We're probably going to come back one day. We are at dinner chatting with a nice American couple that are currently living in Belgium, and they've been here. This is their third time here, and they're staying here for 2 weeks, and I'm really jealous. Anyways, we're gonna call it a night. We're gonna play some cards here in the room, probably watch some TV, and we will pick it up in the morning.
Good morning. It's like 5:30 in the morning. We don't do this very often, but we are going to capture sunrise because this place is way too magical to sleep in and not see it at least once. Should be a good one. the way breakfast works here is they do have a menu. They've got like a few gluten-free items. Not the greatest selection, but they do have a couple, so that's really nice. And then you order what you want.
Yeah, they're just plated breakfasts, the breakfast is included. There was, I think, 4 gluten-free options, a couple of Asian options, and then mostly Western breakfasts, like typical American breakfast plates, eggs, bacon, that sort of thing, or pancakes and French toast.
Pancakes were not
Overnight
gluten-free.
oats. No gluten-free pancakes.
There's no bread or anything for me, but that's fine.
So yeah, we've ordered breakfast, but it does also include like cereals, breads, fresh fruit, juice, coffee, tea.
And that's put out in buffet style, so you can just pick and choose as you want. The fruit is amazeballs.
Which, yes, it was, and I'm gonna go grab myself a plate now as well.
Breakfast has come. I got poached eggs with hash browns and baked beans. I asked for medium poached. Let's see. Nope, they're hard. Oh, one's medium, one's hard. That's okay.
The hash browns look really good. They're really crispy.
Yeah, the hash browns are shredded. I think they do them in-house. I'm pretty sure they don't buy these commercially. And then they're really well done. They're salted and just delicious.
The baked beans are chickpeas.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the baked beans. I can't identify the flavors.
That's vegetarian. It's a tomato sauce, onion, but they're using chickpeas. It's mostly just a little bit of tomatoey and a little bit salty. There's no sweetness at all to it like normal baked beans. Mine definitely looks a little bit better. I went with the breakfast hash brown stack, which was one of their specialty menu items, so there was a $2 upcharge for this. And it looks like it's 2 giant hash brown patties with bacon, sausage, sauteed bok choy in the middle, and topped with a couple of sunny side up eggs and a little bit of hollandaise sauce on the plate. Looks pretty impressive, so let's try to cut into this. And oh yeah, that's really awkward to eat though.
I think for me, I would say, as much as I love it here, I don't think I could stay much more than a couple days. The food, especially like the breakfast, it's included. It'd get old really, really fast because the options are, they didn't look very appetizing. Let's just put it that way.
Dinner was much tastier. This looks impressive, but it's a little heavy-handed and really hard to eat, honestly. But yeah, I mean, the fruit and all the other stuff was really good, so we'll probably just fill up on that.
We've finished breakfast, and before we have to check out, we are gonna go hop in that ocean for one more swim.
We're probably not going to last too long because the sun is already up and it's already really hot, but we can't be here and not at least go.
Yeah, it's 8 a.m. and it is already like 28 Celsius. It feels hotter than that. The sun's getting stronger. So yeah, we're gonna get in real quick and we're just gonna leave the camera behind because I don't think we're gonna last that long.
A few moments later.
I know I said we weren't gonna bring the camera in the water with us, but this is too cute. So come check this out. So we were going in for our morning swim and made a couple of new doggy friends, a couple of different strays that we haven't seen so far. Actually, there was a third too, but he ran off. But yeah, started going on the water and this guy started following us and actually swam out with us and pretty much refuses to leave. So as you can see, he's hanging out here with Cory still. And at the moment, I think he's looking for fish.
I thought he was staring at shadows because he was just like constantly looking down and like going around in circles. Turns out it was fish.
Yeah, no, he's fixated on something.
Yeah, if you look down, there's fish around.
Do you see the fish, buddy? You trying to get one for breakfast? Hey, cutie. Say hi to YouTube.
The strays are like the strays ever.
Yeah, the stray dogs that have been at this resort have been so well behaved, so even tempered. They'd make great pets if you were so inclined to adopt one. You think he's quick enough to catch fish for breakfast? I don't know.
I don't know.
These fish are...
It's not his first rodeo though, because he knew what he was looking for.
This is true. He looks like he's been out here before.
Pretty special. Alright. I don't need you calling me.
So I feel like Cory might just have adopted a dog.
Probably like 4 here. He is sweet though.
That is really adorable.
I'm pretty sure he's got collie in him.
He is so fixated on the fish right now. Oh,
Yeah,
poor
there's
guy.
like 2 around our feet right now. I'm not gonna eat this fish.
This guy is really cute.
He does have fleas.
I'm in the ocean. I'm not too afraid of fleas.
What's that?
He knows how to fetch. Not sure if he's actually heading in or if he's probably, yeah, he's over there looking for food. But that was pretty special.
Yeah, too bad we can't like give him a better life, but I would say for a stray dog, he has a decent life here.
Yeah, all the strays here look to be fairly well cared for. They're all very calm, very even tempered, and they all look pretty well fed. all things considered. So I think they get a lot of food from either the staff or the customers at the restaurant there. So that's nice.
I know that our videos kind of portray that we're always on vacation. That is not always the case. We just, some days are harder than others. This felt like an actual vacation.
Yeah, this place is magical. It is an absolute paradise here. And we love it and definitely will want to come back. Also, it's started to rain.
But it's not a thunderstorm, we can tell,
So we're staying in for a little while.
the sun is hidden and we aren't getting burnt, so we're gonna take advantage of it.
Yeah, rain clouds means no UV and no sunburns. And the water, guys, is still so warm.
It takes no effort. I'm not even like trying to bend it up. It's just so buoyant. I'm just having fun.
Yeah, in case it's not obvious on the camera, Cory is basically just dragging herself in with her arms and just kind of crawling, but it's super shallow here, even though we're still a ways out from the beach. And just because we can, we decided to come check out the swimming pool before we head back to the room. It's nice. It's actually deeper than I thought it was because I'm standing on the bottom right now and barely able to keep my head out of the water. But yeah.
I really don't want to leave. This is just pure magic.
There was just a giant crack of thunder and everyone immediately vacated the pool and looks like the ocean. So we're just gonna head back to our room, have a shower in the rain, by the way, and fly off and get ready to check out.
It's perfect timing because we have to check out anyway as soon as we get out of the ocean. So this is kind of good.
And it's really raining now. This is awesome.
This is awesome though.
Well, if it looks like all we've done here is swim in the ocean and eat, you are not wrong. That is pretty much all we've done, is just relax. So we've got a quick bite to eat here for lunch before we have to check out, and it looks pretty good. I went with just the burger and fries. It looks pretty awesome.
I went with fish and chips, and it looks like my spinach and feta is coming.
Spring roll.
Thank you.
And Cory's gotten some spinach and feta spring rolls in rice wrappers, which looks pretty good. So
I'm kind
it's
of
pretty
worried
good.
about the sauce.
No idea what that is. I might avoid that if I was you. I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah. So, Wallace can have that. I'll just dip into this.
Yeah,
And-
it's a dark sauce. It looks like it might have soy sauce in it. I can't trust that that's gluten-free.
Ooh, this looks really good. It's nice and flaky and like. I don't know what kind of fish this is, but it's tender, it's flaky, and they did a really good job. It's not overly coated, so.
All right, my burger is huge. So bacon and cheese, lettuce and tomato. Looks pretty good. That's pretty good.
And the spinach and feta. The wrapper is really well done. It's really light and crispy. The spinach and feta doesn't really have a lot of flavor. It almost is like they use frozen spinach. So not my favorite, but still a good option.
All right, we're gonna finish this meal and go get checked out.
It's checkout time, and a thunderstorm has set in hardcore. We don't know if this is going to affect our ferry or anything, so we're going to get the front desk to like call and find out.
We'll see.
But this is what it is like.
Well,
That was unfortunate.
that was a mess. So right as we were checking out, there was a power outage, which created a bit of havoc, and we weren't able to successfully pay by credit card. Luckily, we had enough cash. We expected that we would need cash, so we were able to pay cash, but credit card machine was down. Checkout process took longer than expected. It's pissing rain, and at least on the taxi ride back, we're riding in the cab of the truck, not out in the back.
So I think the moral of the story is always have enough cash because you never know when you're going to need it. When we were signing off the dollar amounts, we really just should have paid each time and just avoided like having to have such a big hefty bill at the
I
end.
don't think it mattered. They didn't want to be handling payments every day, so we had just signed the bill every day, and they expected us to pay at checkout. And if there hadn't been a power outage, it would have been fine. So it is what it is. Stuff happens. You just roll with it.
We are at the ferry terminal. Our boat doesn't come in for another 15 minutes if it's on time.
Big if, you guys. Big if.
But as far as like seating arrangements, there's only restaurants. So the only way that you can get like out of the rain is to buy something and kind of sit at the restaurant, which is unfortunate because the other place actually had a waiting
I
area.
think this technically is probably open like seating area, but anyways. So we bought a drink. We're just gonna sit here and wait for our boat and stay out of the rain because it is wet out there today.
But we were just talking to a couple that came in while the thunderstorm was like starting, and they said that it wasn't rough, so we should be okay.
Yeah, there's no wind. The water looks still really calm. It's just that it's raining, so we shouldn't have any problems with the ferry. When I was talking to the clerk at the hotel, he said the ferries only get canceled if it's stormy and really windy, so that shouldn't be a problem today. We've made it onto our ferry. It was relatively on time, so yay.
Fingers crossed that our bad luck has ended.
It's pretty cloudy and gray out still, and the windows are fogged up from the outside of the windows, so we're not going to be able to really show you too much of the views, but we'll try, and we'll see you back in Sihanoukville. Ferry makes a stop at another pier here on Koh Rong. I believe this is Koh Touch or Koh Tok, I'm not sure how to say it, before it turns around and should be heading back to Sihanoukville. Weather conditions have improved, so it's a pretty smooth ride today in the end.
I would say this trip was a great success.
And knock on wood, no mechanical breakdowns yet.
Hey, we're not done yet.
We are safely back in Sihanoukville, and that is the end of our time on Koh Rong.
And we didn't have a breakdown on the way down, the way here, so yay! Yeah, I totally understand why everybody skips Sihanoukville and just goes straight to Koh Rong now. If you're capable of doing that, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, Secret Garden Koh Rong was absolutely phenomenal. 10 out of 10, would recommend. We definitely were sad to leave, and we definitely plan to go back in the future and stay there again for a longer stay because it was just phenomenal. Besides that, the island itself is just absolutely gorgeous and well worth a visit. Anything else to add?
No, just put it on your bucket list because it is a place that you'll go and always remember.
Yeah, we're very sad to be leaving, and just, yeah, that last swim in the ocean with the stray dog, that was just magical. So that's it for this video. Thanks very much for joining us, you guys, on our journey to Koh Rong and back. We hope you've enjoyed it. Please hit the thumbs up, give us a like, and make sure to subscribe.
And join us in our other videos for more adventures. Until then, stay curious and keep exploring.